So, Pedro, let's start by asking the audience. I have one final question for you. The most important conclusion for you, take-home message, actually, if you want. So, what is the most important take-home message after that we have been virtually together this morning, afternoon, whenever you are on the globe? And I would like to know. So, I will open up again and finally the Mentimeter again with the QR code so that it is broadcasted. Slide into that because we're very interested in that specific answer. Of course, what is the take-home message? What's the most important conclusion for you, of course, because you are different in different responsibilities, I assume. And of course, the final question is according to that. Pedro, before we take a closer look in the answers that hopefully are given, briefly, how do you look back at this session?
No, fantastic session. I really appreciate the basically participation of all the people that are around the world and really actively participating with their questions, and of course all the speakers as well. I think they did a great contribution also to the discussion that we had in hand. So looking back to it, I think we had several discussions that are quite important, and I think we all agree in a few points that are going to be relevant. One point is that the macroeconomic factors are still going to fuel the market volatility. So this will continue. And as we also know, tomorrow, September 9th, the EU Ministers of Energy are going to...
very much attended, in Europe, of course, a very much attended European session. Not all have been. Why is that so important?
Yeah, indeed, it's because basically the EU ministers will be discussing how to reduce energy consumption and achieve the target of the 15%. And I think that probably can deploy also some areas that we will influence also. How we'll have raw material availability and how basically the geopolitical situation will be impacted for. So I think it's very critical for us, and we are in the right time to have these discussions, because already tomorrow we'll have some developments that may lead to some challenges there.
If I take a closer look to some of the answers that have been given, some say that it's flexibility. Flexibility is, of course, a must. Energy. Planning, quality, analyze and act upon results. Knowing, pay attention to all variables and to be ready to change. And I think all are true. I don't know if they're all very easy to do, because if you have to be flexible, I mean, it's easy to say that you have to maintain a certain amount of flexibility, but on the other hand, that actually asks something from your plan, from your feed mill, from your staff, from everything. Other answers that are popping in is controlling quality at each level of process, and that with the local raw material. And another one says, though we are in a high impact situation, I do see possibilities to help adapt and overcome. Another person says, all starts with maintenance. In a changing business environment, it is important to improve systems and processes through adoption of more advanced feed milling technology and analytical capabilities. And still, please give us your answers. It's writing. What would you say, Pedro, is one of the most important thing? And then I might read a couple of others to conclude with.
No, absolutely. I think we are completely on the same line with the audience. Meaning we talked about being agile, the flexibility. Robert really clearly pointed to that point. We talked about quality assurance schemes adaptation. Of course, make sure that you check the regulatory demands and keep them.
Yes.
Geki also mentioned act now. So knowing that we potentially have a challenging situation ahead, I mean, don't wait for it to happen. Just be proactive, act now, as we were already on that sort of situation.
Yeah, actually, she said prepare for the worst.
Indeed. So I think that's key. Also, again, the stocking positions, meaning we talked a little bit about procurement towards the beginning of the session here, And are we prepared for that stocking position? Meaning it will take changes in the management, maybe some cost addition to be able to stock more material. In what conditions do you need to provide so that you would have preservation in order and maintain the nutrient value of these grains and feed in the end? So I think this is in the end the first conclusion from the FeedTechnoVision that I took and also corroborated by the audience. It's uncertainty and the volatility will continue. Therefore, we need to be proactive to act and prevent the issues to come in.
Yes, do you say in an energetic way? I will read out a couple of other reactions from our audience, Pedro. Even if these are hard times, there are still a lot of crucial things that can be done. That's a very hopeful message. There are many areas along the process that can be adapted to improve efficiency. Making sure that you're aware of your risks and put steps in place to mitigate these risks. In, I think, full concordation of our final session here at the table. And another one says that use technology to improve feed milling processes. I think also one of the last takeaways. So I remember one of the first reactions, where do you hope for? And somebody says hope. And then I remember that in the beginning, of course, it is difficult to say, well, here's your hope. But I think that there are a lot of things that can be done. You have stated that. I think all speakers have said that. If we look at the nearby future, I think there are a lot of things that we could do in the sector and in the chain. Pedro, final question to you. Looking back, I mean, I will always ask the same question if I have you in the beginning and the end. Are you satisfied till now with what we have reached at the table?
No, absolutely. I think that was exactly the goals that we had in the beginning. So we stated and we wanted to understand if people could have a little more of hold or to control parts of the procurement process and the quality control. So what kind of adaptations we need to do there. We wanted to also understand the opportunities to leverage operational excellence.
Yes.
And I think this is very, very well catered by both Ernst and Paul on the things that we can control, that we can actually do. And I think that's a message that's very strong. There are still some inefficiencies, if you call it, or opportunities to improve the process, and they can lead to reduction on energy costs, but also to help us deal with the current situation we have, which is highly uncertain and highly volatile.
Thank you very much, Pedro. And of course, thank all the other speakers, of course. We have Ernst, Paul, Geke, Robert, of course, here at the table. Thank you all for the speakers, of course, for both their presentations and all the answers. And of course, you. Thank you for attending this virtual FeedTechnoVision event 2022. Soon this recording will be available, and as soon as the presentations will be available, you'll be notified, of course, in I think the next day, so as in the day of tomorrow, the recording will be already ready, and as soon as the presentations are available, we will notify you on the same interface as you're now. And on behalf of Selco, I would like to thank you for joining. Keep up the good work. Good luck. My name is Donatello Piras. I wish you a great day ahead whenever you are, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.